Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a dream so big, so bold, that even you doubted if it could come true? If you have, then you're in the right place. Because today, I want you to believe something with every part of your being. Anything is possible. Not maybe. Not only for the lucky. Not if the stars align. Anything is possible. History is filled with ordinary people who refuse to give up. People who started with nothing, faced doubt, rejection, and failure, and still kept going. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. People laughed at the Wright brothers until they touched the sky. And let's not forget about people like Oprah Winfrey, who rose from poverty to become one of the most influential women in the world. They didn't have it easy. They had a vision. And they believed. You see, it's not the size of your dream that matters. It's the size of your faith. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you choose to get back up. Obstacles will come. People will doubt you. But don't let that shake you. Because the only thing standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself about why it can't happen. You want change? Then change the story. You want success? Then commit to it like your life depends on it. Because sometimes it does. No one said the journey would be easy. But the most meaningful paths are the ones that demand the most from us. And guess what? You're not here to be average. You're here to be great. So dream big, start small. Work hard, stay humble. Be relentless. Be brave. Be you. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need more doubt. It needs more dreamers, more doers, more people who believe deep in their soul that anything is possible and then prove it. So today, right now, make a choice. A choice to rise above the excuses, the fears, the limitations. A choice to show the world what's really possible when a human being refuses to quit. Belief is the beginning of everything. Before a person takes action, before a single goal is achieved, before any success is visible to the world, belief is the spark that lights the fire. When you believe that anything is possible, you open up your life to opportunities that others can't even see. Belief is what separates those who try from those who don't. It's what gives you the strength to move forward when everything seems to be pulling you back. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to see the entire path, but you do need to believe that the destination is real and reachable. So many people fail to reach their potential, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they don't believe they're capable of more. They settle. They shrink. They play small because they've convinced themselves that greatness is reserved for others. Those who are richer, smarter, luckier, or more connected. But the truth is, greatness is available to anyone who is bold enough to believe that they can claim it. You don't have to wait for someone to hand it to you. You claim it with your mindset, your work ethic, and your refusal to give up. Every breakthrough in human history began with belief. Every invention, every movement, every world-changing idea started with someone saying, "This can be done." Belief transforms limitations into possibilities. It turns "I can't" into "I will." It takes fear and transforms it into fuel. That doesn't mean belief guarantees an easy road. It doesn't mean everything will go according to plan. But it does mean that even when plans fail, belief gives you the resilience to rise again. When you believe in the possibility of something greater, you carry a different energy. You speak differently. You move differently. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You don't look for proof. You become the proof, and people notice. The world responds differently to those who walk in belief. Doors begin to open, connections begin to form, resources begin to appear. Not because of magic, but because belief brings clarity and action attracts results. The problem is, belief isn't always easy. It's constantly being challenged by failure, by criticism, by the opinions of others. There will be voices that say you're not good enough, not ready, not worthy. But the loudest voice in your life should be your own. And it should be saying, keep going. You've got this. Your inner belief is stronger than external doubt. When others can't see your vision, remind yourself, they don't need to. It's your vision. It was given to you for a reason. Protect it, nurture it, build it. At every step of the journey, belief must lead the way. It's the compass when the road gets foggy. It's the anchor when the storm hits. It's the fuel when the tank is empty. Even when the progress feels slow, even when you're tired, belief whispers, keep moving. And when you do, you discover strength you didn't know you had. You uncover potential you never realized was there. Belief isn't just about what you think. It's about what you do because of what you think. It turns intentions into action, and action into transformation. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you start believing in yourself, others start believing in you too. Confidence is contagious. Purpose is magnetic. Belief has the power to not only change your life, but to inspire others to change theirs. So let this be the truth you carry with you every day. Anything is possible, not just for the people you admire, but for you. No matter where you started, no matter what's in your past. If you believe in something greater, and you're willing to work for it, nothing can stop you. Failure is not the end. It's part of the journey. We live in a world that often glorifies success and hides the struggle behind it. We see the awards, the results, the headlines, but we rarely see the rejection letters, the sleepless nights, the moments of doubt, or the countless attempts that didn't work out. But if you look closely at anyone who has achieved anything significant, you'll find one thing in common. They failed. Not once, not twice, but many, many times. And each time, they chose to rise again. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed over 1,000 times before he finally invented a working light bulb. When asked about all his failed attempts, he didn't see them as defeats. He said, I didn't fail, I just found the 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset that turns failure into progress. Every setback, every misstep, every closed door, it all adds up to a foundation for future success. Failure teaches what success can't. It sharpens you. It humbles you. It prepares you. But too many people allow failure to become final. They take one no as a sign they should stop. They interpret a mistake as a message that they're not good enough. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Failure doesn't mean you're not meant to succeed. It simply means you're still learning how. There's no straight line to success. It's messy. It's painful. It's unpredictable. But if you stay with it long enough, if you refuse to quit when it gets hard, that's when things begin to change. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build moment by moment. Every time you get knocked down and choose to stand back up. Every time you hear no and keep moving forward. Every time you fall short, but come back with more determination. That's how greatness is built. Not in the moments when everything is going well, but in the moments when nothing is working, and you keep showing up anyway. The problem is, we've been conditioned to fear failure. In school, failure is punished. In society, it's often seen as weakness. But in real life, failure is feedback. It's a teacher. It shows you what needs to change. It forces you to grow. In fact, some of the best things in life come from the worst failures. Relationships fall apart so better ones can come. Jobs are lost so new paths can be found. Dreams collapse so bigger ones can be built. Every time you fail, you are gaining something: wisdom, strength, clarity, experience. You're becoming the person you need to be in order to handle the success you're working toward. Because sometimes success doesn't show up until you're truly ready for it. And failure is how you get ready. It's how you're tested. It's how you prove how much you really want it. So don't fear failure. Expect it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Use it. Let it refine you, not define you. Remember, failure is never the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone toward it. You can't climb the mountain if you're afraid to stumble. And you won't reach your peak if you quit at the first sign of struggle. What separates winners from everyone else isn't that they never failed. It's that they never stayed down. They kept going when it hurt. They kept believing when no one else did. They turned failure into fire. And so can you. So the next time life knocks you off your feet, don't stay down. Don't let failure write your final chapter. Stand up, dust yourself off, and remind yourself, this isn't the end. It's just the beginning of something greater. Keep climbing. Keep believing, because everything you want is on the other side of not giving up. Change begins with you. Not with your boss, not with your parents, not with your government, not with your circumstances. You. That's where real transformation starts. You can wait your whole life for things to get better, for someone to come and fix it, for the perfect opportunity to arrive. But nothing will truly change until you decide to change. You hold the power. You always have. It's easy to blame outside conditions for why life isn't going the way you want. It's comforting to point the finger, to say, I'd be happier if my job were better, or I'd be successful if I had more support. But the truth is, as long as you keep waiting for someone else to make things happen for you, you'll remain stuck. The moment you take responsibility for your life is the moment everything begins to shift. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. It means ownership. It means accepting that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. You can control the effort you give. You can control the attitude you carry. You can control the choices you make every day. And those choices, those daily actions, shape your destiny. No great achievement ever came from waiting around. No dream was ever fulfilled by doing nothing. The people who succeed, who grow, who change their lives, they're not sitting back hoping something good will happen. They're out there creating it. They make bold decisions. They start where they are with what they have. And they move forward, flawed, scared, uncertain, but determined. And that's all it takes. One decision, one moment where you say, I'm done waiting. I'm done blaming. I'm taking charge. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to start. The road will unfold as you walk it. Action creates clarity. Movement generates momentum. It's in the doing that you discover your strength. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most powerful because it breaks the pattern. It tells your mind, we're not stuck anymore. We're growing now. The truth is, most people never change because they're waiting for things to get easier. But things don't get easier. You get stronger. And strength only comes through effort, through challenge, through commitment. Change is uncomfortable. And that's why it's so rare. But everything you want lies just beyond that discomfort. On the other side of your comfort zone is a version of you that's more confident, more capable, and more fulfilled. You were not meant to live a life of waiting. You were not designed to sit on the sidelines while your dreams pass you by. You have within you the power to change everything. Your mindset, your habits, your relationships, your health, your finances, your future, but nothing will happen until you make it happen. So stop looking outside for what you must create inside. Be the leader of your own life. Stop waiting for permission. Give yourself permission. Take the risk. Make the call. Say yes to yourself. Do the hard things that move you forward. Because every time you take action, no matter how small, you send a message to the world and more importantly to yourself, that you are ready for more. Change isn't something that happens to you. It's something that begins with you. It starts the moment you say, no more excuses, no more delay. I will take control of my life. And when you do that, when you truly commit to your own growth, you become unstoppable. Your life becomes proof that anything is possible when you stop waiting and start becoming. Your mindset shapes your reality. The way you think about yourself, about your life, about the world, becomes the lens through which you experience everything. If you constantly focus on your limitations, you'll only see obstacles. If you focus on your potential, you'll start to see possibilities. What you believe internally manifests externally. That's why the most powerful shift you can ever make is not changing your circumstances. It's changing the way you think. Most people are prisoners of their own thoughts. They live in mental cages built from self-doubt, fear, and negative self-talk. They tell themselves, I'm not good enough. I can't do that. That's just not who I am. And they wonder why they keep getting the same disappointing results. But the truth is, your thoughts become your actions, and your actions create your life. If you want a better life, you must start with better thoughts. Your mind is constantly talking to you. The question is, what is it saying? Is it lifting you up or pulling you down? Is it feeding your faith or your fear? The voice in your head is powerful. It can either be your biggest cheerleader or your worst enemy. That's why you have to train it. You wouldn't let a stranger follow you around and insult you all day, so why let your own mind do it? To change your life, you must first change your story. Stop telling yourself why it won't work. And start asking, what if it does? Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, think about what could go right. Replace I can't with I'm learning. Replace this is too hard with this is helping me grow. Because every time you shift your thoughts, you shift your energy. And that shift changes your behavior, your decisions, and eventually your outcomes. You have more control over your mindset than you think. You get to choose what you focus on. You get to choose what you give your energy to. You get to decide how you interpret your experiences. And when you begin to take ownership of your mindset, you unlock a new level of power. You start to see that your reality is not fixed. It's flexible. You are not stuck. You are simply one new thought away from a breakthrough. This is why gratitude, visualization, and affirmations are not just self-help cliches. They're tools to rewire your mind. When you focus on what's working, when you imagine the life you want, when you speak words of strength and hope, you're not just being positive, you're programming your brain for progress. And over time, those thoughts compound into confidence, courage, and clarity. It's also important to guard your mind. Be mindful of what you consume, the people you spend time with, the content you watch, the conversations you engage in. They all influence your thinking. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it will drain your belief. But if you surround yourself with inspiration, growth, and support, your mindset will expand. Protect your mental space like it's sacred, because it is. Remember, your mind is not your enemy. It's your greatest tool. But like any tool, it needs direction. If you don't control your thoughts, they will control you. And most of the time, they'll lead you toward fear and limitation. But when you take charge, when you become intentional about how you think, you begin to shape a life that reflects your vision, not your fear. Your life will always move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So choose them wisely. Speak life. Think possibility. Believe in your power. Because once you master your mindset, there is no limit to what you can create, build, overcome, or become. The moment you change your thoughts, you begin to change your life. Hard work and resilience are non-negotiable if you truly want to create something meaningful in your life. Dreams are beautiful, inspiring, and necessary, but they are only the beginning. Without consistent effort, dreams remain ideas floating in the mind. It's the work you put in, day after day, that transforms those dreams into reality. And that work is rarely easy. It often requires sacrifice, discipline, and doing things when you don't feel like doing them. But that's where growth happens. That's where the real transformation begins. Success is not just about talent or intelligence. It's about endurance. It's about endurance. It's about how long you're willing to push, how much you're willing to give, and how many times you're willing to get back up after being knocked down. Resilience is what separates those who try once and quit from those who try again and again, until they break through. It's the ability to face failure, criticism, and difficulty, and still move forward, not because it's easy, but because it matters. Hard work isn't always glamorous. In fact, it's often quiet, unnoticed, and repetitive. It's waking up early when no one sees. It's staying late when no one's clapping. It's doing the boring tasks, the uncomfortable things, the painful reps that no one celebrates, but that build the foundation for something extraordinary. Behind every overnight success story are years of grinding and silence. Behind every highlight reel is a full-length documentary of setbacks, frustration, and perseverance. That's the truth few are willing to tell. But it's also the truth that will set you apart. The reason most people don't achieve their goals isn't because they aren't capable. It's because they aren't consistent. They work hard for a day, maybe a week, and then stop when motivation fades. But results don't come from occasional bursts of effort. They come from showing up every single day, especially when it's hard, especially when it feels like nothing is happening. That's the test, and those who pass it win. Resilience is not about being perfect or never feeling tired. It's about moving forward anyway. It's about holding the vision when everything around you seems to contradict it. It's about saying, I will not quit, even when the odds are stacked against you. That's strength, that's character, and that's what builds unshakable confidence. Because every time you don't give up, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. People will doubt you. They may not understand your vision. They might criticize your process. But none of that matters if you stay focused. Your work ethic speaks louder than their opinions. Your consistency will silence their doubt, and your resilience will become your legacy. What you do daily matters more than what you do occasionally. Every small action compounds. Every bit of effort adds up. You may not see the results today, or even tomorrow, but if you stay committed, the day will come when it all pays off. And when it does, you'll look back and realize that every challenge was worth it. Every hard moment, every sleepless night, every setback you overcame, it all shaped you into the person who could handle success with grace and strength. So don't be afraid of hard work. Embrace it. Don't run from resistance. Grow through it. Let the struggle sharpen you. Let the setback strengthen you. Because it's in the grind that greatness is built. And when others quit, when others fall away, you'll keep going. Not because it's easy, but because you've made a decision. You're all in. No matter what. That's how you win. That's how you grow. And that's how you prove that anything is possible. You were not made to be average. Deep down, you know this. There's something inside you that tells you you're meant for more impact, more growth, more contribution, more life. And yet most people settle. They fall into routines, live according to what's familiar, and allow the fear of failure or rejection to keep them playing small. But the truth is, you have a spark of greatness inside of you. You were not put here just to survive. You were put here to thrive, to rise, to lead, and to unlock the full measure of your potential. Every time you make a decision out of fear or comfort, you deny that part of yourself. You quiet the voice inside that says, I can do more. And over time, you begin to forget that it was ever possible to live a life that excites and fulfills you. But it's still there. That voice is still speaking. That fire is still burning. It's just waiting for you to stop ignoring it. Waiting for you to say, enough of settling. I'm ready for more. Being average is easy. It requires nothing more than following the crowd, doing the bare minimum, and choosing what's safe. But greatness demands more. It asks you to stand alone when necessary, to work when others are sleeping, to risk being misunderstood, and to pursue excellence even when no one is watching. Greatness doesn't arrive by accident. It is earned through courage, discipline, and a relentless refusal to quit. You weren't made to live a small life, hiding your gifts, shrinking your dreams, or silencing your purpose. There's something unique in you that the world needs, but you have to claim it. You have to stop waiting for someone to hand you permission. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to knock on your door and offer you greatness. It's your responsibility to go after it, to demand more of yourself, to rise to the level you know you're capable of. And yes, the journey won't be easy. There will be setbacks.
Yes, the journey won't be easy.
People may doubt you.
There will be setbacks.
You'll be tempted to give up.
People may doubt you. You'll be
But you must
tempted to give
remember,
up. But you
comfort
must
kills
remember.
progress.
Comfort
You don't grow
kills
in the easy
progress.
moments.
You
You grow
don't
when you
grow
push
in the
yourself
easy
beyond what
moments.
you
You
thought you could
grow when
handle.
you push
You grow when
yourself
you choose
beyond
discipline
what you
over
thought you
excuses.
could handle.
You grow when you show up
when
on the days you
choose
feel like
discipline
giving
over
in. That's when you
excuses.
build the
You grow
strength,
when you show up on the
confidence, and
days
clarity
you feel
that only
like
come
giving
from
in.
stepping into your
That's
power.
when you build
Average
the
people
strength,
wait for
confidence,
opportunity.
and clarity
Extraordinary people
that only
create it.
come from stepping into
They don't
your
ask,
power.
"Can I do this?"
Average people wait
They
for
declare,
opportunity.
"I will do this."
Extraordinary
They act with
people create
intention.
it. They don't
They
ask,
invest in themselves.
"Can I do this?"
They surround
They
themselves with
declare,
those who push
"I
them
will
higher.
do this."
And they keep
They
moving
act
forward,
with intention.
even when it's
they
hard,
invest
even
in
when it's slow,
themselves. They
because they know
surround
that every
themselves
step,
with those who
every
push
decision,
them
every
higher,
action
and they
is
keep
part of the
moving
process.
forward,
So
even when it's
stop
hard,
playing small.
even when it's slow.
Stop
because
hiding
they
behind
know that
excuses.
every step,
Stop
every
pretending
decision,
you don't have what it
every
takes.
action is
You
part
were
of the
born with
process.
everything you need to
So
rise,
stop
to grow,
playing
to win.
small. Stop hiding
But you have to
behind
believe it.
excuses.
You have to
Stop
decide that
pretending
from
you
this
don't have
moment
what
on,
it takes.
average
You
is
were
no longer
born with
acceptable.
everything you
You're not
need
here to just
rise,
exist.
to grow,
You're here to make
to
a difference.
win.
And
But
when you
have
embrace
to
that
believe
truth,
it. You have to decide
when you
that from
begin
this
living
moment
like you
on,
were meant for
average is
more,
no longer acceptable.
everything begins
You're
to
not here to
change.
just exist. You're here
You'll
to
feel
make
more
a difference.
alive.
And when you
You'll
embrace
attract
that
better
truth, when you
opportunities.
begin living like you were
You'll
meant
inspire
for,
others to
more
rise with
everything
you.
begins
Because the
to
world
change.
doesn't need more
You'll
average.
feel more
It needs more
alive.
people
You'll
who are willing
attract
to
better
show what's
opportunities.
possible.
You'll
When a
inspire
person
others
refuses
to
to
rise
settle,
with you.
then that person
Because the
can be
world
you.
doesn't need more average.
If you
It
decide,
needs more people who are
if you
willing to
act,
show what is possible when a
if you
person
rise,
refuses to settle. And that person can be you. If you decide, if you act, if you rise.